Hi guys, hi John.
How are we doing, Tony?
John, Hamir talked about having to stop the bleeding. He talked about the lack of confidence. What do you think we can do in this camp to restore confidence? Results obviously would be the first.
Look, it's ultimately building on that. I think that the first half performance against Greece, especially, I think that's the key point. Emphasising obviously all the good moments, but obviously showing the bits where the manager in particular were trying to develop new little ideas to re-emphasise that again for a couple of newer lads in the group as well. So just touching on that and quickly, because it's a strange week in the sense of the preparation time. So obviously the video analysis will be a key part in the preparation to it. So it's a key bit of that, but ultimately it's getting that positivity, breaking the habit, like he said, in terms of just getting the wins on the board as quick as you can, and that obviously. But first and foremost, I think it's the performance level. If you take care of that for the full game, I think that will lead to the results as well.
The fact that Matt Doherty has been left out of this squad, and a few others, Jake O'Brien as well. Talk to me about what impact that might have on the other players. Someone as experienced as Matt, who's a Premier League player.
Look, it's one of them. It's a case of obviously the manager spoken about it and spoken to the players this morning in terms of showing the next windows, international windows, and the chances that we have to see some newer faces and try some newer lads in positions. But in the sense of also realising how important winning games are and the rankings and the confidence and all that type of thing leading up to the World Cup draw. So there's still an emphasis on winning games too, but also obviously trying a little bit of new combinations, new understandings, and getting that in as quickly as you can, because next year you mightn't be able to do that. Obviously injuries, different things, suspensions happen. So lads have to be tested, lads have to be seen at the level, and obviously hopefully respond to it. But no player, Doc in particular, he's definitely still in the plans. Like, there's no case of, you know what I mean, it's just hopefully it's that positive reaction in terms of everybody, that you respond well, and hopefully performances lead to everyone having a tough squad to pick. You know what I mean, that everyone gives a manager a tough decision to make. That's the key.
Can I ask you as a centre half yourself about Martin McGuinness, a new call-up, and what he could bring to the team?
Yeah, no, look, obviously I've worked with Martin in the 21s. He's been one that we've obviously had an idea about for a long time in terms of his progression, and obviously we know the centre half area, we have obviously quality competition there, but I think Mark's development is in a sense similar to Jake's in a way, but also for the fact himself, he suffered a little bit with injuries the first half of last season, then got himself back fit, and then managed to get a good move to Luton, and he's going to probably, I think, keep progressing. I think he's that type of character. He wants to get himself back into the Premier League. He was desperate to get involved with the Irish national team as well, and it's a case of not only his defensive capabilities, his obviously set piece threat, and obviously composure and passing ability as well, a total package.
Would you expect him to get game time in these two matches?
Yeah, look, let's wait and see. I think when the manager picks the squad, he's confident of any player being selected and being available to play. That's the whole idea. When you're picked in the squad, he tells the players it's the whole idea of you're ready for maximum minutes or you're ready for no minutes. That's the competition level we need.
Can I ask Evan then quickly? You had 8 minutes I think against England, just over half an hour maybe against Greece. Are you ready for 90, do you think?
We'll have to wait and see. I feel good. I've been back in now. I've been back in full time for a month or two now, so I feel good. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Cameron, thank you.
Hi John. You were talking there about all the experiments and the need to try and find new combinations and try a few things out. Was there a bit of a fresh feel to things this morning? Was that needed?
Well, it's not as if it's a case of the manager needing to see people in the flesh, in terms of obviously he went out and saw the games as well and got to meet people, but also knowing that when you need results, but also knowing that you need to have a plan in place for the squad, the age, a profile of players, needing to see people, the level, are they ready to come in and really help and stake their claim for that spot, so they can say, no, this is my position, I want to stay here for the next 5, 6, 7 years type of thing. You know, that's what we need, and hopefully talking about leadership in terms of the group itself, it's a key part that everyone has to kind of step up and take those roles.
Do you see it as kind of a brave move from Hamer? He's still looking for his first win. Would it have been easier to kind of stick with, tried and trusted when he's looking for his first win? Do you see it as brave to kind of be switching focus to 2026 now?
No, look, it's not like that at all. As I mentioned, we're fully focused on getting good results against Finland and Greece and the next two games. You could say it's brave, but also it's a development in terms of what we're looking for the group. In terms of we need to get a competitive, settled squad, but also knowing that there's an option there to take it. Can you take it as well? It's that balance that needs to be struck over the next couple of games in particular. But obviously, then when you see the draw, that you know that you have a healthy, competitive squad, and I think that will always lead to us being very competitive in the qualifying.
And I know Hamer's big into the stats, and he feels he can judge a lot on players from the base, basically. But are you of that kind of same ilk, or do you like to get out and go to games?
Look, it's a mixture of both, really. You know what I mean? It's definitely a case. It's good to see lads, but also you miss things at a game too. And that's why the video footage can cover every angle. You got a full angle. It's obviously the chance you get to meet and talk to players as well to see how they're getting on. But also when you're watching the game, depending on where you're sitting, necessarily you mightn't see the full picture. But obviously then you get the video angles that cover the full focus of positionally where players should be. You're thinking maybe someone's in the right position all the time, but then when you watch it back on the video, he could have been in a better position as well. So it's a balance of both.
Steve, please.
John, just to be honest, there was some of your former teammates analysing the last game, and they were very critical of Matt's and his work rate in that game and coughing up that goal against Greece. Is that something that Hamer is going to be strict on, that if players make mistakes in games or don't show 100% effort, that's it? That could
No, it's not. It's not a case. I know obviously that kind of probably the angle that you're kind of looking at there, but it's a case of we focus on inside the camp, what we're preparing the players for, what we're looking at, and then obviously reviewing it and discussing it and seeing what we can do to be better going forward. Always be the case.
Mark McGuinness, you were talking about him, I suppose, highlights the fact that there's a lot of centre-backs coming through, a lot of good, talented centre-backs. Can't be saying the same for midfield, central midfield. It seems to be one of the areas where Ireland are lacking depth. Is that something you think Hamer is aware of and that he can address?
Yeah, and I think it's one of them. I think we need to get away from almost that negative aspect of positions in the team and the squad and players, because the dedication and the sacrifice that every player and the levels these players are playing at, I think is sometimes forgotten about. They're really good players, they're playing at a really good level, and I think it's a bit of not a nonsense, but we're kind of too derogatory towards these players, because they're really good players, they're playing at a really good level and they're showing dedication to want to come and play for Ireland. So I think we should be getting behind them a bit more.
Evan, just want to ask you as well, Fabian Bertzeller said it was the week before last that you have the whole package as a striker. I suppose it's probably comforting to hear that when you're coming back from injury, but you've got a couple of good strikers ahead of you. Has he kind of set any kind of challenge for you? I know he's probably bringing you back nice and slow. He doesn't want to aggravate any old injuries, but has he kind of set any challenges for you this season?
No, he's not really set challenges in a way. He's just been talking to me and what I can do and what sort of needs to be done in his eyes to get playing and what he wants in his system. So he's not really set any goals, but just to come back and play as I can.
Do you think you can play like the system that he plays in, where it's all squeezed up into the final third? It's a bit different to De Zerbi's approach, maybe. Do you think you fit into this system maybe a little bit better?
I don't know. It's hard to say because I haven't really fit into it yet. I haven't played too much yet, so it's hard to say. But from the outside of things, it probably looks like it suits me a bit better on the front foot.
I just want to mention your teammate Danny Welbeck, playing him in still, 33 years of age. What can you learn from a player like him?
Well, you learn every day. It's like I'm good mates with Danny, and you see what he does every day in terms of preparation for training and like regeneration and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So you learn something new every day.
We'll move into the embargoed section now, so that everything from this point onwards is 11 p.m.